What's up, everybody? I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers, bringing you guys your daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, American Contractor, and Atlas. Go ahead and check them out in the description to this video. So we've got two storm systems on the way. The first is impacting the Gulf, and the other one is moving into the plains. So for that Gulf risk, it's going to be a wind and tornado threat. We're talking about the where, when, and why for today and tomorrow before our plains system hits on Friday, and that's got all risks on the table. So let's get into it in a second, but before we do that, come see us at the Atlas All-Stars Stadium Tour. It's going on all summer, April 13th through August 17th, so the first event is tomorrow in Minneapolis. And Derek is going to be a keynote speaker there. There's going to be giveaways, and I believe he has some QR code prizes for the folks that show up. So come see us at the Atlas All-Stars Stadium Tour anytime this summer that works for you guys. We're excited to see everybody there. Now into what's happening this week. Two systems on the board, one off in the Pacific Northwest right now, one sitting in the Gulf. Now this Gulf system over the next few hours here is going to intensify a little bit and start swinging everything up into the Gulf states, so we'll have some storms out of that. Then the second stronger system is going to be from this western trough. However, this one, as we've talked about, is kind of pushing all of that heat and humidity down into the Gulf and keeping it there. So we need that to kind of link up with our jet stream system or get out of the way in order to get some better instability returned through the Central Plains to get those severe storms. So here we are by noon on Thursday, kind of starting to join up with our jet stream, and then eventually it does in fact link up and start to move into the Ohio Valley, and we've got a little bit of a remnant of our trough moving through on Friday. So we could get some storms still on Friday, looking like our setup is still plausible for severe weather. However, not going to be anything crazy widespread like we've seen before because this first system isn't getting out of the way quite quick enough. So 2 rounds of storms nonetheless, and then that's going to move off into the Ohio Valley by Saturday, so we'll have more of a storm risk then for the beginning of your all's weekend. Right now, beautiful across really everywhere except for the Gulf states. There is that system that's just spinning away, bringing everything up north towards the Gulf Coast, getting closer and closer, and going to bring those storms into your area later this afternoon. Now, warm weather across the board. Everybody's so uniform. It's like in the mid-70s across most of the nation, a little bit warmer in New York at 80, and then once you get up into the Intermountain West, it cools down. But Denver's at 79, 77 in Minneapolis. Gorgeous weather, clear skies across most of the nation, so great day to get outside if you guys are looking to do any of that for today. Now, there's our system, all right? There's the water vapor, and you can see how it's pulling all of that dry air out into the plains and then pushing all that moisture down into the Gulf. So that's kind of the situation with how this is setting up for the Central Plains. But now for the Gulf states, it's a little different because you got these storms moving up north towards the coastline, and that's going to get those storms for you guys into today and tomorrow. So that's kind of how this setup plays out. There's all of that moisture streaming out of the Gulf and into the Florida Panhandle, into the southern part of Alabama, Mississippi, even parts of Louisiana, and keeping all that dry air out towards the southern plains. So we'll see how fast it can get out of the way, but it is going to linger there for the next day or two. So there's our storm chances. Starting to see some heavy rainfall along the coast by 5 p.m., particularly if you guys are in the New Orleans area. Then things will gradually just lift up over the southern part of the southeast, bringing some more storms here and there by midnight. Now storm mode is very messy, lots of clusters here and there, so looking mostly like wind and possible tornadoes with anything that can get rotating with these storms. And again, you can see the spin of that system as it pulls everything up into Alabama and Georgia by Wednesday, or by Thursday. So for today, looking at just that coastline area where those storms are starting to creep up on for our wind risk. So if you guys are in New Orleans, if you're in Mobile, Tallahassee, and the very far western part of the Florida Panhandle, that's where you could get some gusts in the 60s for today. Then for tornadoes, going to be pretty similar. Again, it's going to be scattered, low-end chances for wind and tornadoes across the board today because of that just messy storm mode. But New Orleans, Mobile, and Tallahassee, you guys could also get a very scattered tornado, so be on the lookout for that. Then tomorrow, we can pull that risk northward because this low pressure system starts to move up to the north. So getting those storms now moving over Atlanta, moving over the Tallahassee area some more with those isolated cells, picking up a little bit of steam by around 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern with those cells all the way through Jacksonville, up through the Macon, Georgia area, dropping some gusty winds as well as a potential rotating storm or two. Now there's not any major cold front action that's bringing these storms into the area, so not a whole lot of lift that's going to help us out with hail, plus it's real warm. So looking again at wind and tornadoes for tomorrow. But any of those cells could produce, again, potentially some damaging wind gusts and a spin-up storm or two. So for tomorrow, again, extending that risk up to the north and pulling it out to the east a little bit over the central part of the Florida Panhandle or Peninsula. So if you guys are in Tampa, Jacksonville, anywhere as far north as Birmingham, you could get a scattered severe gust. Again, very isolated through the area, so low wind chances across the board, but severe winds nonetheless. And then the same area for tornadoes with anything that rotates, any isolated cells tracking through there could potentially produce a tornado or two. So Birmingham, Montgomery, Atlanta, Macon, all the way down to Tampa and Melbourne, you guys are in the risk for tomorrow. So Gulf states for the next 48 hours, then we're going to switch gears into that second system that's tracking through. So here we are by Friday at 5 p.m. when that trough will be making its way through and storms can potentially start up. We got some moderate values here on our significant hail model all the way from really just to the east of Wichita down into the Dallas-Fort Worth metro and south. Then it's going to really not back off by 8 p.m. So storms will be going, and now we have that cold front. Now we have that dry line. So, and we'll take a look at that in a second. But we have more of an overall setup that could be productive for hail as well as wind and tornadoes, so all threats. But there's that significant hail model by 8 p.m., still producing some pretty high values. And then once that system tracks off to the east for your Saturday, you're going to see that taper off a little bit and transition more into a wind threat. But here's what that setup looks like, all right? We got one low way up to the north, and the cold front from that is going to link up with the dry line from the second low to the south. All right, and where those meet, we're going to start to see storms developing by around 5 p.m. through the pretty much I-35 corridor from Wichita down into Dallas. Now, as that tracks off to the east, we'll see things start to get a little more isolated and potentially a little more intense. So could see some stronger storm development once it moves away from Oklahoma City, Wichita, Dallas, you guys. But we're going to keep an eye on the placement of these storms, especially once our higher res models become available closer to the day of. But this is what the setup looks so far. Storms all the way from Omaha down south of Dallas, and then shifting off into the Ohio Valley by Saturday afternoon with that cold front and starting to see storms out ahead of that by 5 p.m. So a continued risk for you guys for your Saturday. So for your Friday risk, pretty much that highlighted area, Omaha down to south of Dallas, like the Waco area, could see some storms on Friday. All severe threats, again, are possible, probably looking at hail initially, and then transitioning towards wind as we get into the overnight hours and early morning of Saturday, where we could again see severe weather now through the Mississippi and parts of the Ohio Valley. So that's what to look forward to for the middle and end of your week. Guys, go ahead and follow us. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Hit See First on Facebook so you never miss a live video. We go live every weekday at noon with your forecast update. Then if you guys want to get in contact with us, you can scan that QR code up above me if you guys want a demo of any of our products or to sign up. Or if you just want to contact us, you can get us at 855-334-4245. You can email us at info@hailtrace.com or check out hailtrace.com for more details. And we'll keep you updated this week as our weather risks get closer and closer. But for now, I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.